Lindsey Williams, right again. Reuters. President Barack Obama on Monday said the United States was challenging Chinese auto and auto parts subsidies that threatened American jobs as he campaigned in Ohio, an auto manufacturing state that could be decisive in the November presidential elections. Now that's interesting, because last time I checked, the people who he put in charge of his czars and gave GM and the auto companies money, they immediately took their businesses overseas to China and India to create new manufacturing plants. Now, because he already knows, the president already knows, you stupid sheep in Ohio, I know you're not paying attention to the things I've done. I will tell you flat to your face, I'm going to fight China on this one, and we're not letting our manufacturers go overseas on this one. We're going to tax those imports. But didn't you allow them to go over there in the first place? Yes. But the rest of you sheep in Ohio, you don't know that because you don't pay attention. You only listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth currently. And I know this, so I will use that against you. So, Beijing, China fired back with a complaint against U.S. duties on many Chinese exports, in the latest example of trade tension between the world's two largest economies. Trade tensions. Oh, that's right. What did Lindsey Williams say? Trade wars would be coming. Currency wars and trade wars was the new one he added. What has just taken place if old Barack Obama follows through? Trade wars. All you manufacturers, you car companies, and along with other manufacturers that have been sending your labor and your workforce to China to simply sell back to the U.S. to make even more money because you can pay those people slave labor. Barack Obama needs to get reelected. We all may have to pay duty fees to get those cars back over here, which means you just wasted all that money sending people and cars and equipment over to China and India. Then again, maybe not, because you simply don't have to export back to the United States. Matter of fact, you can keep it over there and just sell to the Chinese and the Indian people and tell Barack Obama to go screw himself. Matter of fact, that's probably what you're going to go do. This is nothing more than campaign nonsense to get reelected. It's just incredible what these criminals that call themselves politicians, yes, both Democrats and Republicans, yes, your favorite Barack Obama, and yes, your favorite Mitt Romney, and back last time around was John McCain, the old warmonger, which I know everybody loved, and man, if he would have won this and that, no. Would have been the same. Again, the old train example, trains already going down predetermined tracks. The conductors changed out every 4 years. That's it. So, this is what we have for a system. This is what we call democracy. I love seeing those people in the little rallies and stuff. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Yeah. Did I mention I was on a cruise the other day, speaking of overseas cheap slave labor? Yeah, I did. And I said, the guy at my table, the waiter, I noticed a lot of Indonesian name tags. It has their name and then in where they're from. Indonesia and China and India, Philippines, Haiti. And I'm thinking to myself, actually I didn't see any China, I take that back. Most of what I saw, matter of fact, I don't think I saw one that wasn't third world type of country. So that was kind of odd. You know, J Snip 4 always paying attention to stuff like that. I had to ask my waiter, why, you know, such diverse employees here from all over the place. What's up with that? You know, why is there so many people from so many different countries? You know, it's just kind of odd. He says, well, Americans won't work for the wages that we get paid. They won't do it. Bingo, light went on. No wonder why I didn't see any name tags that said USA or Britain. or anything like that. Any first world superpower, so to speak. Which again, the most first world countries in the world, namely us and a few others, are the most indebted ones in the world. Incredible how that works. So I went home, got home yesterday, and last night my wife said, well, let's look up online, see what we can find about what did they actually get paid. So she pulls up an article from 2007 with some first-hand accounts of just what it's like to be on the cruise ship. And from the women being able to work their way up on the pay grade by doing sexual favors to the higher paid crew members. That's one way to get a pay raise. Another way is actually no way. You just have to hope and pray for tips, because they are paying you not minimum wage. There's no such thing as minimum wage on a cruise ship. They were the basic people that serve you, clean your room, the majority of them. I'm not talking about the captain's crew up there, the engineer, that kind of stuff. No. I'm talking about the peasants that serve us, the slaves. I think they said on average, this was from 2007, fair enough, the wages were somewhere around $1.70 something, $1.78 an hour. $1.78 an hour. Doesn't sound too appetizing. So unless you plan on going on a cruise and just dropping 20s at every person you see, here you go. Kind of like Jim Carrey did in Dumb and Dumber when he had that suitcase full of like $200,000 or whatever, just handing out $20 bills like it was, candy, little pieces of paper to everybody. Here you go, here you go, here you go, $20 for you, $20 for you, $20 for you. And I did tip both of my two waiters that served us. Now granted, I could have tipped the room service people and the million of other different people that come in contact with you, but you don't want to necessarily go broke trying to enjoy a vacation that you thought originally, as it said, is everything's paid for, you don't have to pay anything. And the average person that was on that cruise ship, you think they know? Do you think they have any idea that the people that are serving them with beautiful smiles on their face, always showing signs that they actually really care about you and want to make you happy? I mean that. Do you think that these people know this guy or girl right here is getting paid, less than $2 an hour? Nobody knows that. So when I heard the guy behind me, man, I got a $1,200 bar tab myself, man. $1,200 in 4 days on a bar tab, which you already know the prices were outrageously high to begin with. I mean, not too outrageous to tell you the truth, but definitely, like if you went to a club or something and you got wasted that night, sure enough, you're going to see those kind of prices, between $8 and $10 a drink. And as we all know, money is to be made at selling alcohol. You don't think that the cruise ship or cruise company, in this case Carnival, could break off a couple pieces of that profit to give to their slave labor employees? No, we got to post big profits because we got shareholders. And the one interesting thing my waiter told me, if you work here for 10 years, 10 years straight, if you work here for 10 years, they will set up a retirement program for you. And I guess they contribute to it somehow. However, if they're only paying you less than $2 an hour, I am frightened to know what the retirement benefits are, or what their contribution is towards your retirement benefits. I can only hope and pray that at the end of the cruise, when everyone leaves a tip that the whole crew shares, that it somehow makes that job worthy of getting less than $2 an hour. I can only hope and pray, because I have no idea how many people paid whatever it was in fees, because they try to get $11.50 per day per person in your cabin to leave as a tip, on top of the price you already paid that said everything was included. And then in the, you know, subsection 8, whatever section it was, you don't have to leave a tip because we said it was all inclusive. So if you dispute this tip, please see customer service. So before knowing all this, we went and disputed it because I said, I mean, I've got 3 kids, my wife, and I'm not paying $11.50 a day automatically in your terms and conditions that you just threw under my door in the middle of the night to tell me, oh, by the way, we're taking $11.50 a day per person in your cabin for 4 days now as a tip to split with the crew. Oh, I didn't know that. Now, God forbid if Carnival, who hired the employees, is going to pay their actual wages. No, we're going to give them less than $2 an hour. You dumb schmuck that is going to get raped and pillaged when you get on this boat, you're going to pay their salary. So I'm kind of glad I found out later that they actually make slave wages, because I probably would have never, ever went back to customer service and said, hey, let's just take off, they offered it to me, take off the kids and just you and your wife pay. And that was completely fine. I was going to tell them just do half of whatever it was going to be. So they gave me a little more than half off of the tip fee, if you will. Having said that, I would have never even done that if I knew these people were up there slaving for freaking less than $2 an hour, for God's sakes. Yeah, I would have went ahead and forked over the money myself when Carnival, who's their employer, should have been doing it. But you know how that goes. Another day in paradise known as planet Earth. Take care.